The story of the Lion King begins with one of the most breathtaking and unforgettable openings in movie history. As the sun rises over the African savanna, animals from every corner of the Pride Lands gather at Pride Rock. The air is filled with life, music and energy. The wise mandrill, Rafiki, steps forward holding the newborn lion cub, Simba, the son of King Mufasa and Queen Sarabi. As the animals bow before their future king, the song Circle of Life plays, a powerful anthem representing the eternal cycle of birth, growth, death, and rebirth that governs all living things. This opening scene doesn't just introduce a character, it establishes the grand theme of the film, that every creature, big or small, has a role in maintaining balance in the world. The king and his heir. Time passes, and Simba grows into a curious, playful young cub. Mufasa, his father, is not just a king. He's a mentor and a symbol of wisdom and strength. He teaches Simba about leadership, responsibility, and respect for all life. One of Mufasa's most famous lines echoes throughout the film. Everything the light touches is our kingdom. He tells Simba about a forbidden place, the elephant graveyard, a shadowy wasteland filled with the bones of elephants. Simba's curiosity gets the better of him, and he convinces his best friend Nala to go exploring there, accompanied by the cheerful hornbill Zazu, who serves as the royal advisor. The cubs sneak away and find themselves surrounded by danger. In the graveyard, they encounter a trio of savage hyenas, Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed, loyal followers of Scar. The cubs are nearly killed, but Mufasa arrives just in time, saving them in a dramatic rescue scene. Later, Mufasa scolds Simba but also shows compassion. He explains that bravery is not about seeking danger, but about knowing when to face it responsibly. The moment turns emotional as Mufasa looks up at the stars and tells Simba that the great kings of the past watch over them, a lesson that will later guide Simba in his darkest hours. He explains that being a king is not about ruling over others, but about understanding the delicate balance of nature, the circle of life. However, lurking in the shadows is Mufasa's jealous younger brother, Scar. With his dark mane, green eyes and sharp tongue, Scar is one of Disney's most iconic villains. He feels overlooked and resentful because the birth of Simba has pushed him even further away from the throne. His bitterness grows into hatred, and soon he begins plotting to overthrow Mufasa and eliminate Simba. The elephant graveyard and the first trap. Scar cunningly manipulates Simba's innocence, pretending to be caring. Scar's ultimate betrayal, the stampede. Scar's hatred and jealousy now reach their peak. He devises a ruthless plan to eliminate both Mufasa and Simba. He tricks Simba into waiting in a gorge, claiming he has a surprise from his father. Then Scar orders the hyenas to start a wildebeest stampede. As the thundering herd races through the canyon, Simba is trapped. Mufasa rushes to save his son, managing to lift him to safety. But as Mufasa tries to climb the cliff himself, Scar looks down at him. And instead of helping, he digs his claws into Mufasa's paws and whispers coldly, "Long live the king!" He throws his brother into the stampede below, where Mufasa is trampled and killed. The music fades into silence, and Simba's cries echo through the canyon. Shh! And shh! Pindush! Shh! Dish! Shh! one of the most heartbreaking moments in Disney history. Scar then manipulates Simba into believing that he is responsible for his father's death. Broken and terrified, Simba runs away as Scar orders the hyenas to kill him. They fail, and Simba escapes into the desert, collapsing under the scorching sun. Hakuna Matata, a new life begins when all seems lost. Simba is discovered by two unlikely saviors, Timon, a witty meerkat, and Pumbaa, a warm-hearted warthog. They revive Simba and take him into their jungle paradise, introducing him to their carefree lifestyle based on one motto: Hakuna Matata, no worries for the rest of your days. Simba grows up under this philosophy, leaving his past behind. The once proud prince becomes a laid-back adult lion, singing and laughing with his new friends. But deep inside, guilt and confusion still haunt him. He doesn't realize that while he's running from his destiny, the Pride Lands are falling into ruin under Scar's reign. The fall of the Pride Lands. Back home, Scar has become king, but his rule is cruel and selfish. He allows the hyenas to take over the Pride Lands, hunting without restraint. The once green kingdom turns dry and barren. The animals suffer, food becomes scarce, and despair fills the air. Sarabi, Simba's mother, remains strong and refuses to bow to Scar's tyranny. She represents hope and endurance, silently waiting for the true king to return. The return of the king, Simba's awakening. One day, Nala ventures far beyond the Pride Lands searching for help. And by fate, she stumbles upon Simba. Their reunion is emotional and joyful at first, but quickly turns into conflict. Nala urges Simba to return and take his rightful place as king. She tells him how Scar's rule has destroyed everything. Simba refuses, still burdened by guilt and convinced he's unworthy. Nala accuses him of cowardice, saying that Mufasa would be disappointed. Heartbroken, Simba wanders off alone, confused and angry, until Rafiki appears once again. Rafiki shows Simba that Mufasa's spirit lives within him. In a powerful scene, Mufasa's ghost appears in the clouds, surrounded by lightning and wind, and says, "Remember who you are. You are my son and the one true king." This moment reignites Simba's courage. He realizes he cannot run from his past any longer. He must face it. The battle for Pride Rock. Simba returns to the Pride Lands with Nala, Timon, and Pumbaa by his side. What he finds is heartbreaking. The land is dead and lifeless. He confronts Scar at Pride Rock, demanding justice. Scar initially mocks Simba, taunting him about Mufasa's death. Then, in a desperate attempt to break him again, Scar forces Simba to confess his guilt in front of everyone. But when Scar whispers that he was the one who killed Mufasa, Simba's rage erupts. A fierce battle begins. Lions and hyenas clash across the fiery cliffs of Pride Rock. Simba corners Scar, and in a last plea, Scar blames the hyenas for everything. But his betrayal backfires. After Simba spares him, the hyenas overhear and turn on Scar, killing him in the flames. With Scar gone, rain finally returns, washing away the fire and restoring life to the kingdom. Simba climbs to the top of Pride Rock, roars into the storm, and takes his place as king, completing his father's legacy. The circle of life continues. The film closes as it began, with a new dawn rising over the savannah. The animals gather once again at Pride Rock, and Rafiki lifts Simba and Nala's newborn cub high into the sky. the circle of life continues, a symbol of hope, renewal, and the timeless rhythm of existence. Themes and symbolism. The Lion King explores profound themes that resonate across cultures and generations. Responsibility and leadership. True kingship means serving others, not ruling them. The circle of life. Every being has a role in maintaining balance in the world. Courage and redemption. You can't run from your past forever. Facing it is what makes you strong. Family and legacy. The voices of those who came before guide us through life. The story draws inspiration from African culture, spirituality, and even Shakespeare's Hamlet. It mixes universal human emotion with timeless myth, creating something deeply moving and unforgettable.